way it started is, I'm a firm believer in the power of creativity, and I think it can be used to unlock potentials and solve problems in any aspect of life, even personal life. So one is that creativity can be used to solve any problem, not just branding, advertising, marketing solutions. I can use it to innovate on products, come up with new products, services. So I think as a philosophy, it has many sort of utilities. The other bit is, I'm a big believer in collaborating. I think if you put people of different skill sets together, like outside of the regular art and writers, if you put a designer on the same table, a tech guy, an engineer, and if you get them to brainstorm, I think some amazing things can come out. And we're lucky to be in a landscape which allows a lot of collaboration. So the attempt of Sideways is to bring in experts and people skilled in different things on the table, park a problem with them, let them come up with their way of looking at it, and then collaborate and come up with a hybrid, elegant, impactful solution. Say, for example, if there's a garment company can tell us that, listen, what can you do to get people to wear more denim? Okay, how to get tomorrow, maybe a company can come and say, listen, suddenly in India there is this whole thing about fashion that only if you're Western then you're cool. How do you get mass India to dress in Indian stuff but yet feel good and contemporary and progressive about it? So it could be a problem like that. The government can say, listen, people don't stop at red lights, can you do something about that? You tell advertising team that, listen, people don't stop at red lights, what can you do to get them to stop at red lights? They'll operate the way advertising people do, which is they will pick on an insight, develop a really powerful piece of content, an ad, a print ad, outdoor, whatever, and then place it in front of you. You give the same problem to a tech guy, a geek. He'll say, here's what I'll do. I'll take the phone and I'll put a sensor in it, and your smartphone can sense each time that you stop at a red light, and over the course of the year, if it senses that you have stopped at 500 places, we'll do a tie-up with the government, and you'll get 0.05% off on income tax. That's incentivizing people to stop. You go to an installation artist, he'll say, I'm going to make the red light do such dazzling things that you would want to stop there and to see it. So actually each of them is achieving the same objective. Now when they sit together, collaborate and figure out, let's build on each other's idea, I think something very unique and spectacular can come out. So I think that's what Sideways is attempting to do, to infuse a little bit of, a bad pun, sideways thinking into people's imagination. So I think Sideways is indicative of a way of looking at things. Yeah, it tells you that one, you don't always have to go down one path. There are other side ways to approaching a problem. It's a way of looking at life. One of my all-time favorite books is a book called The Art of Looking Sideways by Alan Fletcher, and that's a lovely encapsulation of how sideways thinking is what has moved needles in every aspect of human existence, whether it's history, geography, science, literature, language. It's a phenomenal book, and I've always loved it. And I love Sideways the movie, so I think it just works at many levels for us. Also, what I like is it's a non-name. It's not saying anything. So we are already in talks with a couple of them in each of the verticals. So there are some, for example, e-commerce players we've been discussing things with. There are some consumer durable companies. There are some banks. So there are people in different industries, and the nature of problems is very different. I think what's exciting everybody is just the thought that let's give a right brain approach to solving problems which have been solved in a typical way only. Startups, we're in talks with lots of startups, and we are already right now it's like a nascent stage, so we are already helping them design their businesses a little differently, and then we'll slowly build it up. And on the social sector side, like I said, my first project is along with Amir and the government of Maharashtra, which is on the small water projects. I think the core team initially would be a little smallish, so it's not that it's going to be a big setup, but having said that, my sense is we would be about 10, 12 or maybe 15 people. Some hirings are in place. I'm essentially looking for people who love to solve problems. So we've already hired and in touch with some engineers, some design researchers, some design thinkers, some installation people. So I think that it's a motley crew. Also, I think this model works a lot on the power of collaboration. Obviously, I can't hire everybody in the first go. So we are going to be putting a core team together, and we'll be having lots of collaborative tie-ups. I'm hoping for the work to speak for itself. I don't have any plan in place. I think initially when I've been bouncing this idea off people, it's found a lot of takers. So luckily, thankfully, there are some believers in this philosophy, and there are some projects on the table. And my belief is that if I am able to deliver on those projects, I think others will come.